Hey, do you know what your problem is? I don't think I've seen you at Kenny's, the other Rogers music venue in Corbin, Kentucky. I should see you there sometime. We got some shows coming up. Here's some flyers for you. Some shows in June and July. Yeah, I hope to see you there.
You got to come check out this new venue, Kenny's. This is Mayor Susie. I totally approve this message, and I approve this place.
Are you looking for somewhere in Corbin, Kentucky to host your next event? Here we have it at Harvey's on Main at 115 Main Street. Let's check it out. Step into timeless charm and unforgettable elegance at this stunning historic venue. With breathtaking architectural details and an inviting open floor layout, Harvey's is the perfect setting for your next special event. Delight in the breathtaking bar complete with tap, a fully equipped kitchen for seamless catering, clean and accessible restrooms, a beautiful elevated stage for speakers, performers, or presenters. And for weddings and formal events, relish in the comfort and privacy of the bridal suite. Whether you're hosting an intimate gathering or a large celebration, Harvey's on Main provides the perfect scene to create lasting memories. Thoughtfully designed by the owner, who will be by your side every step of the way to ensure all your wants and needs are met. Book today and let Harvey's bring your vision to life.
How's it look?
Wow, that looks hard, my guy. You know what's actually hard? Getting people to notice your business in a world where everybody's screaming for attention. While everybody else is posting boring ads no one remembers, we built one of the fastest growing podcasts in the region. Over 15,000 followers and climbing, and more than 65% of them right here in the Tri-County area.
You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Instagram. That's not just views. That's local eyes, local customers, local money. We don't make commercials people forget. We make commercials people quote.
So if your business is tired of sounding like every other business, come sit at the table. No sugarcoating podcast. We are not just growing an audience. We are building attention.
What if reality wasn't limited to the world around you, but expanded by the experiences you could step into? The moment the headset goes on, curiosity turns into immersion. Every step becomes part of the story. Every moment pulls you deeper into the experience. Designed to blur the line between virtual and real, this is more than gaming. It's total immersion. The best moments aren't just seen, they're shared. Step beyond the scene. Step into the experience. Zone perception. Unlock your imagination.
Kick off your boots, come gather round. We're digging up secrets that can't stay down. Bigfoot's out there in the midnight air. Aliens watching from who knows where. No sugarcoating, we're saying it straight. Bigfoot, alien, CIA. No sugarcoating, the truth on display. Jericho and Paul, bring it your way. From small town whispers to city lights, we're hunting the truth in the dead of night. Conspiracies spin and the rumors fly. Country Cupid is gonna tell you why. No sugarcoating, we're saying it straight. Bigfoot, alien, secrets to break. No sugarcoating, the truth on display. Jericho and Paul, bring it your way. lights in the sky. Some call it crazy, we just ask why. Laugh if you wanna, but you just might see there's more to the world than they want it to be. No sugarcoating, we're saying it straight. Bigfoot, alien secrets to break. No sugarcoating, the truth on display. Jericho and Paul, bring it your way. Truth or a tale, come and see. We're gonna have some fun, y'all.
In a world where feelings are protected and men have traded big, beautiful beards for man purses and man buns, comes to you a podcast you always wanted and never knew you needed. A podcast where feelings are left at the door and conversations happen unfiltered and no sugarcoating.
What is going on Facebook, Instagram, not TikTok, and every other place that you want to find us?
YouTube, Spotify.
Yeah, YouTube, Spotify, and all the other places that you want to find us. As you can see, we have Bill Elliott back for our monthly recap. Hopefully he's got some really good stories for us.
Oh, he's shared a few already.
Yeah, he's shared a few already. Is the AI thing something you can talk about?
Hold on. Because we have the sheriff with us, tell us about that criminal act that happened to you before the show that you've been sharing with everyone else.
Well,
Jericho.
okay, so let's get in depth with that. It's a freaking ripoff. It's a scam artist. So my wife sends me this picture. McDonald's doing these new energy drinks, and they got Red Bull in them. I'm like, that's probably worth a try. So I'm doing all my errands right quick, and I swing by McDonald's. I'm gonna grab me one of them energy drinks because Sonic sells a Red Bull energy drink. They're delicious. I was like, let's see how McDonald's compares. I go through the drive-through, and I say, give me a large. Guy doesn't question me at all. He said, okay. I said, one large, no ice. All right, pull on through. I got you. Okay. Get up there. I pay.
Did he say, pull on through, I got you?
Yeah,
Exactly,
that's how he said.
Yeah.
He said, pull on through. I got you. I was like, okay, good. So I get up to the window. I pay. He never says a word. I get to the other window where you grab your food at. She goes to hand me this cup, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I said, what is that? She said, it's your drink. I'm like, why is this? I said, I ordered a large. I said, that's not a large. She's like, well, this is all they come in. Why is it half empty? Because you ordered no ice. Since when did that matter? You know, like when did it come to the ice is the rest of your drink?
Well, they have drink mixologists now. So they have special pours they got to do to make these drinks. Jericho, when you remove the ice from the drink,
Just double.
it's still the same drink, the same size, the same amount of ounces, the same amount of squirts or whatever. It's the same thing.
Okay, well,
Because last I checked, Red Bull comes in
Cans.
Cans.
right, but their cups are different sizes, so their mixologist should have it figured out by now. Well, small gets
Okay, so
this
no ice gets 2 cans of Red Bull?
If you're ordering a large, then yeah, you should put whatever it's going to take to fill that large.
He's
up.
trying to steal. He's trying to steal here.
How's that stealing? Your mixologist
You're
should
paying for one
should know
one
this.
can of
You're paying for this many ounces.
1 can of Red Bull.
Well, then they should be like, well, to get a large, it's $1 upcharge.
I agree with you, Paul, that it should have been
They should have just poured his drink in a smaller cup and say, sir, this is the only size that we have.
Yeah, with no ice. That's
Exactly.
the change you're going to see.
Exactly, and,
Put
well,
a
and,
small
and oh well, at least from now on,
It was
they
a
are gonna be
disappointing looking
informed.
cup. I don't
Yeah,
care to tell
it
you.
was.
If you've not seen Jericho Mason's video about him complaining and ranting and raving and trying to get everybody worked up about the McDonald's on Master Street, go check out his page, like it, share it if you want to,
You should.
and follow him. But yeah, he's been tore about that since I got here. He was making a video in his car about it. Well, I don't mean to say I got here when I first seen him.
He was actually here before me today.
Right. That's because he worked here today.
I did work here today.
Yeah, you got the goodies in there today.
I've got the good stuff, man. I've got good stuff in there.
People need to come down here and buy that stuff.
I'm gonna send some home with you tonight. So with that said, we do have the sheriff of Whitley County on here, Mr. Bill, who's agreed to come on every third Monday of the month to kind of give us an update, a rundown, what's going on. And guys, our last episode with Bill was fantastic. Everybody watched it. Got a lot of good responses all over the social media platforms. And he's like, and if you guys go back and watch that episode, the first thing he said was, well, you guys invited me back, and I just thought you were having a tough time getting guests.
No, I appreciate y'all having me on here. Really do.
But, I mean, he got such a good response. It's like, nah, people want to see this. So we're very thankful that you'd spend this time
Thank
with
y'all
us.
for having me, seriously.
So we're not just begging. Your videos really did blow
I
up.
appreciate it. I mean, that's the whole purpose of coming here, reach the public, let people know what we're doing, answer questions that we can answer, and try to be open.
And that's all it
transparent.
can be. Well, people in your line of work and stuff, the public lacks that transparency.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to make people want to be around you more. That's what.
Yeah.
This.
Everybody wants to be around police more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not everybody.
Yeah, I was very sarcastic. You were looking at your notes while I was rolling my eyes, Bill. But so how many calls have you guys had since last we spoke?
Well, I'm going through we was talking about this before the show started. Right today, I was getting figures together just so have them to give use tonight, and we had exactly for the month of July. I mean, exactly 1,000 catted events. So
that's 1,000 phone calls.
That's 1,000. Some of those are minor. Might just be a phone call. Some of them might be a transport. Some of them might be a death investigation. Might be a bad wreck. Really, it's the only way we got to track what we actually do.
Right.
Is cat events. And we had exactly 1,000 for the 31 days of July. And if you break that down, it's a little over 32 a day calls that our small department is handling.
So to me, that's amazing. It's mind-blowing to think that 32 people in Whitley County are calling the police every single day.
Yeah. And how many workers you got?
We got a couple part-time and road units. There's probably 10 of us right now. I'll go ahead. That's something I was going to mention. Got a new hire. Hopefully, if everything works out, we'll be
awesome.
Coming September 1st, supposed to be coming, as long as his paperwork comes through. Got two of my guys that work in the courthouse as court security officers, looking to go to the police academy. Got one of them already scheduled for October. The other one, he's trying to finish his schooling up. He's looking to go after the first of the year. So hopefully the new hire gets here. As long as everything goes good, he'll start here in a couple of weeks. Then in October, we'll get that one in the academy, and then we'll have another one going hopefully in January, February to the academy. So
see, that's amazing because last time you were on the show, you're like, Paul, it's tough. It's tough to get people to even want to do this job. And not to get crazy off topic, but I just DJ'd the first responder thing at the Corbin Arena, and we had a lot of the police officers there, and it was like, and I was telling them about the time that I applied, and they were like, Paul, it's probably a good thing that you didn't get the job. Police work isn't what it used to be.
It's not.
It's not what it used to be. It's got crazy, and which has caused recruitment to go down. That's what I was kind of getting at, because you were talking about how tough it is and how people are just not interested in doing this, being a police officer anymore.
I find it, and people get burnt out so quick, and I'm not saying I haven't. Over 35, February was 35 years for me in law enforcement. But I promise you, I love it today just as much as I did day one. I still have the same love and desire for it that I had 35 plus years ago now. And we was talking the other day, guys, that's very unusual, but I love it. I still enjoy out here answering the calls with my guys. I love running calls, just like I did as a trooper, as the sheriff. I do it out of necessity because we are a small department, but I thoroughly enjoy that part of it. Still, I'm still young enough to enjoy that.
And you're not right. A lot of that does fade. People get jaded. I know a few people that were police officers, and like, you don't know the mental toll it takes on you.
Right.
Seeing some of the things you got to see, being involved, and things that you're involved in, that there's nothing you can do. Because I mean, we were talking last time. There's a lot of things your guys' hands are even tied on, like civil matters and this and that. And he's like, there's a lot of things you want to do, but you can't.
Right.
It's, and I can imagine a lot of people kind of getting burned out on that for a while.
Yeah.
I don't see how you ain't burned out. I see you on them streets every day.
And you can ask our guys, and I may have said this last time, we're just like everybody else. Our workers, their kids are off during the summer, so our people's taking their vacations during the summer just like everybody else. So it's been leaving us shorthanded. And when Tony makes schedule, he'll say, "Oh man, we're short here. What are you gonna do?" I say, "I'll cover it." I mean, just there's stuff I like to do, and if I ain't doing that, I'd just soon be working.
Well, you work a lot.
I do, but like I said, there's the old saying about you never work a day if you do what you enjoy. However that goes, I don't know exactly how it goes, but most days it's just even the hard days. That part of it, the tragedy part of it, ain't enjoyable, but just going to work, I still enjoy it.
I know that since the last time you've been on here, I've gotten in front of you or behind you at least 15 times.
Yeah.
I was like, my Lord, I am seeing him everywhere now.
I had a guy, I was eating up here at Dixon's the other day, and a guy was in there, and he was telling me, he had a fellow try and say, well, they ain't even got third shift coverage, and which is not true. We have 24/7 coverage. And he said, well, I know that's a lie. He said, I've seen the sheriff himself out at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Because I make sure we got coverage. If somebody's off, or, we got last week we had 2 on vacation. And so if we offer overtime for the guys that want to help cover those shifts, and if there ain't, I cover it myself.
Well, see, I know during the week of the Nibrock, so I'm out here and we had parking spots, and I ran into your wife and your son, and they just got back from New York, I think.
Yeah.
And I said, how's Bill doing? I haven't seen him in a while. She goes, I haven't either. She goes, he's working 16, 17 hours a day right now, Paul. Things are crazy in Whitley County.
They just missed the Bigfoot too.
Yeah, they had just missed you in the Bigfoot out there or whatever. But yeah, she's like, I'm not seeing him either, but Paul, he loves it.
Yeah.
He loves it.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that makes a difference. I can't see anybody wanting to be sheriff that doesn't love it. I mean, if you ain't willing to put the time and work it goes in. If you're a big department, sheriffs don't have time to do what I do. They don't have to do what I do. But when you're such a small department, you ain't got no choice but to work if you want to have good coverage, So, and I take pride in it. I had a real close friend call me 2 hours ago on a call. He's on the south end of the county. Had an incident occur down there, so I'll be on my way. So I was getting out at the office. I just got back in the truck and drove down there myself. And, it wasn't a major incident, but he knows he called me. I came, and I take pride in that stuff.
Well, we were kind of talking about that before. When you have somebody that lives in the area, somebody that knows just about everybody, it's different.
Right.
It's different. And police work isn't, and I'm not telling anybody but the people watching, police work isn't as black and white as people want it to be.
No.
And that's one thing that I spoke to a lot of different friends of mine that are police, and they're like, Paul, every situation is not the same. People write situations, and they're like, this is exactly how you handle this. But you can't do that as a police officer. Every situation's different.
When I ran the first time, I would everything I put out as far as newspapers and Facebook, I took pride. I wrote it myself. Me and Tony were working together at schools at the time. I'd have him proofread it. Then I'd have maybe my wife proofread it. But it's stuff I wrote, from my heart. And one of the particular days we was at work, I'd worked that night before. I said, Tony, proofread this. And in there, I said I would treat everybody equally. And he said, you can't treat everybody equal. You can treat everybody fairly. People won't let you treat them. And I had never really, when he said that, I mean, it made perfect sense. So of course I changed that, but you can't treat everybody equal, but you can treat everybody fair, because if I deal with you, you might be in one mood, Jericho may be in another, and one of you is making things very difficult, you know. So
Right.
you can treat everybody fairly, and you can help anybody you can help, you know.
Well, that's what one of my buddies, and what I was talking to him. He goes, Paul, he goes, let me tell you a really sad situation that we get put in all the time. We have a job to do. We get going down the road. We see a car, and the tags are expired, and they've been expired for some time. You get up to the window, and you see the family. You know that they don't have that extra money right now. You can just make that judgment call at that moment that, hey, they don't have the money for this. So not only now they have to get tags, but then they're going to have to pay a ticket. They're going to have to pay a ticket and maybe even have to get their car out of impound, depending on how long the car had went without tags. He goes, Paul, is that really a problem that I want to put on a family that I know is struggling anyways?
Yeah.
Where, you know, this man could lose his transportation back and forth to work that he's barely getting by on anyways. He goes, Paul, he goes, things aren't black and white. And you want to be not only a good police officer and do your job, but you want to be a good steward. You know, you want to represent what you're doing and everything else. And because Paul, he goes, those are the toughest calls you'll have to make. One of the toughest calls you'll have to make when you know that you're doing your job, but you're putting someone in a worse situation than they were before you got involved in it. You know, and a big part of you want to say, well, you know, listen, that car's not legal unless it's tagged and they shouldn't be out in it. But then you know, there are circumstances.
Right.
What would you do?
Been there hundreds of times.
Right.
I mean, you'll get
35 years. He's seen it.
And, you know, state police, that's one of the things we were, you know, they're real activity driven, state police is. The biggest thing to me, it ain't necessarily the tags, of course, but when you get somebody, and most of the time if their tags are out like that, they don't have insurance. Well, right now, at that particular moment, you think about it and you do feel sorry for them in that particular situation. And they've been people you give breaks to, but if they don't have insurance and they reckon hit your family or they hit my family or they hit your all's family, then you're suffering on their behalf, because of them, you know. So you got to kind of look at it. So it's just a tag issue most of the time, or, you know, if somebody's insurance, they've had insurance, it's just they may have missed the payment, and it's just, but when you find that stuff, it's been on the road. They drove it for 6 months and they ain't even transferred it to their name or tagged it in insured. So there's such a wide variety of
different situations.
It's just not being tagged. Is it not insured? Is it not even been transferred? Or who even owns the vehicle? There's so much you got to do there, but it is heartbreaking sometimes when you see these families. So, and every now and then you'll give them a break. Don't let me catch you back on the road with it. You're close to home. Get it home, park it. So it ain't you do the same thing. Each situation's different. Like you said, your friend.
Yeah. Well, and you know, he was, because that was one of the things that he'd said when we were talking. He's like, Paul, he goes, you know, I want to be out here busting bad guys because I want to go in there and get the drugs off the streets. I want to, you know, I want to make sure that no women are being beat by their husbands. I want to make sure that no kids are getting beat or assaulted or anything else. He goes, but in the position I'm in, you know, I have to, like you had said, the state police have so many,
they have a quota.
Well, not really a quota.
Unofficially.
Did the camera catch me roll my eyes? Not really a quota, but you know, they do want to see activity. That's what you said. Activity. Right. They want to see activity. And, you know, so that drives that, you know.
Yeah. So in that activity, is there a number you got to meet?
I'll be honest with you, I don't know. There was never a set number with the state police. there were numbers if you didn't get close to.
Guys, that's a quota.
well,
I'll be honest with you, and if you have an active trooper that's really out working, he'll never have no trouble getting. I mean, he'll never have no issues. I mean, if you're out working, if you're out working, you're never going to be like, "What's wrong this month?"
Yeah,
you know?
You'll never be like, "I've got 3 days to get this number."
Yep,
or whatever.
And I mean, and I won't mention no names, but I've saw troopers, and you can't write 20 legitimate tickets to one car.
Right.
They would stop 3 cars a month. They'd write them each 20 tickets, like no tags in it. They'd write them tread depth on the tire. They write charges I've never even heard of before. And then at the end of the month, they'd have 60 tickets. Really, all they've done is sit at home 17 days and got out 3 of the 20 days your average working and wrote 3 cars, 20 tickets, you know. So.
Yeah, no, and that's
that's embarrassing to me.
It is embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's tough, and I've had friends that not the work at Whitley County. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
Let me be very clear. Not worked at Whitley County, but a lot of times the city and the state is more about numbers than county is.
Well, it's with the state. Like this morning, I went to.
I don't think your camera's working, Ronnie.
My camera's not. That was one of the things I tried to get it working earlier, but went to Lexington this morning, come back, and there was about 10 state troopers between Lexington and Livingston, all on the side of the road, 2 at a time, and they'd just whip out and start pulling people.
Yeah,
pulling people over.
Yeah.
Well, so just to finish what I was saying is where the county is a lot less about pulling people over. They said that when they knew that their friends at the state police needed to have more tickets, that they would let them finish the call.
You know, when I come from the state police, retired from the state police, but their numbers is down too. We always average 6 or 7 troopers here in Whitley County.
Mm-hmm.
They've either got 3 or 4 assigned here now, and that's for 24/7. And so, to be honest with you, we don't get a lot of help from the state police, but it ain't from. I mean, they're in the same boat everybody else. They're having trouble. They're having trouble recruiting and getting people too. And then they got all these specialized positions that they got to keep filled. So those positions come from the road, so your community suffer more from that, you know.
Yeah, see, and that's wild to me.
Yeah.
So what would you do if 1 or 2 of your deputies was writing 20 tickets to one vehicle?
That would not happen. That would not fly.
How do you justify that?
I don't know how you justify that.
Well, it don't get past people. You know, I don't know how many times you've ever been to court, but I used to get speeding tickets back in my 20s, which was 20 years ago. Seemed like every 2 weeks I'd get a speeding ticket and I'd be in court. And then you would hear them read charges. And like you were talking about tread depth, window tint, speeding, and all these other little things, and you're like, I didn't even know that was an offense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even the judge would be like, well, they even got you on this. What? You must have really made the wrong guy, man. The guy's like, no, I didn't do anything. I didn't even know that my tires had to have so much tread on them.
Yeah, I didn't either, because I see tires.
Oh yeah.
Out here driving around every day.
I don't even know what the rule is on that. And it's
32 seconds of a.
But that's good officers don't have to do that.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you, but that was just to kind of speak to some of the situations that people are in, you know,
Yeah.
and how you guys got to gauge their situation, and it's not black and white like people think it is. Everybody's like, what's their policy? What's the policy? And there has to be a policy. I get it. But does everything fall under that policy? And I just can't imagine that that it would, if, especially in a small town. Okay, you know, Bill, you might know Jericho's mother. This is just me just making a reference, and you know that this is the time she's in or everything else, and you're like, well, listen, like you said, don't do this again. Don't do. I mean, and that's some kind of minor offense, obviously, if she's peddling drugs or, or selling,
Cooter.
You got to put a stop to that. But no, that's what I was getting at, is that everything's not black and white. When you read or you see news articles and everything's, well, why didn't they do this? Or why didn't they do this? And what's the policy on this? And it's like, that's not how, I don't think that's how a good police officer does it, especially when you're trying to be bigger in your community,
Yeah.
Because the guy that was telling me that, he's a great guy. And he's one of those that very serious about everything he does. Because, Paul, these are the times that I really don't like my job.
So that is the puzzle. That's something hard. Is you want to be a good steward in your community, but you still got to let them know. I got to
enforce
the law. I got to enforce, and I got to obey the law too. And so, how do you juggle that?
Yeah. I'll just be honest with you. I remember being in the State Police Academy, and one of our instructors, he's a lieutenant at the time. After I left there, he ended up coming to Harlem Post and being my captain. But he was talking. He warned us. He thought no matter, he was that guy, he'd write his mom a ticket,
Mm-hmm.
And he pulled his best friend over for speeding. Walked up and realized it's his best friend, and he wrote him a ticket for speeding. And he said it forever changed his friendship with him, and because he's talking about officer discretion, use officer discretion,
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just be honest with you, when I was a trooper, you're out here on the back roads. We stopped a lot more cars, and you're looking for if I stopped 10 cars, I might have wrote one of them a ticket back in that time, because you're
Right.
looking for the drunk, you're looking for the drugs. So if you got a one headlighter, you got probable cause to pull them over, and you could write them a ticket. You don't write them a ticket for that stuff. Now, pull you over for DUI, and I pulled you over for one headlight, and you're a drunk. Of course, we charge you for the one headlight because that's our probable cause for stopping. And if you don't have that, then your DUI could get thrown out. So,
Got you.
But you can be out here. People see you stopping these cars. They know you're active in the community, but that don't mean you're writing all these people tickets.
Well, and that's good. And I mean, I'm glad you touched on that, because you're right. A lot of these traffic stops are innocent. They're like, hey,
Right.
listen, and you could use your discretion and let some folks go. Get your headlight fixed. Have a good day. Be safe going home. Whatever. But I mean, obviously, if you roll down the window, they roll down their window, and it smells like Snoop's in the back seat. Then that you probably need to dig it a little more.
And I'll tell you this: it's so funny. I knew a trooper. Every ticket he wrote, he knocked the speed down. If he got you running 85 and a 70, he would write you at 75 and a 70 because he's trying to help you.
Mm-hmm.
And so every speeding ticket he wrote was 5 over. And you wouldn't believe how many times I'd hear him. Can you believe he wrote me for doing 5 over? Me knowing
the real
story, he would never write you for doing 5 over.
I've had that happen to me. Like I said, in my 20s, I got speeding tickets all the time. They're like, listen, if I wrote you at 20 miles an hour, you'll lose your license or you'll lose this many points. If I want to put you down here to where it's just you plead guilty, you pay your fine and your court costs, and you're done.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, thank you, officer, because really I was, 75 used to be 65 miles per hour, and I cruised on it about 85 all the time in my 20s.
Well, back in the day, I don't even know. I hardly ever owned 25E going to Barville, but I don't know if it's 55 still or if it's 70.
It's 55.
Okay. We wouldn't even.
People act like it's 70.
We didn't. It was so busy, and you didn't. We didn't even pull people over till they hit 70. So you're giving them 15 right there.
Mm-hmm.
Then if you give them a break, knock them down to 5. But it would never fail that it would be somebody was trying to, especially kids, tell their parents, "Well, I was only running 5 over," and then parents would get mad. But So I always had a rule: if I ever knocked them down, I only knocked them down to 10 over, because at 10 over you expect to get a ticket.
Right.
So,
Yeah, because I bet you would get painted the bad guy, right?
yeah.
You mean he stopped you for doing 5 miles an hour over? Because they don't mention I was actually doing like 15 over, but he just put 5.
Right.
These cops try to meet their quotas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's been going on in Whitley County in the last 30 days?
Been very busy. I'll give you my rundown at stuff I put out at for the month of July, because I do the full month. So, our deputies and officers drove over 30,479 miles that month. That we put on cars. Opened 21 criminal cases, investigated 26 collisions, and probably served roughly 140 process service papers. We had a couple pursuits. One of them led to a significant drug seizure. It went from Corbin, the outskirts of Corbin, back into Corbin, then back down the Falls Road and across the Falls into Macquarie County, where state police was able to deploy the stingers. Brought it to an end. When we got him stopped, he had, I don't know how much drugs he had on him, but he also had over $45,000 in cash on him. So you never know. We go to court, we seize that if we tie it to the drugs, and we'll seize that. Hopefully, we don't always, but if you win that, like 85% of that would come back to the department.
That'd be awesome.
So that's the stuff you try to get when you're out here. So who knows it? We may get
That man's life savings right there.
No, that was probably what he had in the trunk that he hadn't already got rid of, or whatever.
So it's been a really busy month. It's just been, it's been crazy busy. Week before last, we was talking before the show come on. We had a really bad fatal in the Pleasant View community that my department investigated. Vehicle ran off the road, hit a tree. All occupants inside perished in the fire. So it was a man and his girlfriend or wife, whatever she was. I don't know that status right there. And their 6-year-old child, plus she was pregnant at the time of the crash. So very tragic. That was just very tragic.
Yeah, it's that stuff.
The whole family.
Yeah.
The whole family died in the car fire.
Mm-hmm, yes. That happened just after midnight that same day. I worked a side-by-side crash down here. A man lost his life in it. So on the same day. The next day we had some other calls. I mean, week before last I said I've seen more deceased people in that 1 week than I'd probably seen the whole first part of the year. It's just, and that's the way it happens. It comes in waves. You'll get a lot of them in 1 week and maybe not much this week.
So, and that's got to be tough to kind of go home with. Like when you said that the entire, what I'm just assuming, family, possibly a man, woman, child, an unborn child, all perished in the car accident. I could just feel how heavy that is. Like, it sets on me heavy, and I'm just hearing of it. I didn't have to be around it or see it or anything.
I was home. They called me about 2:00 in the morning, and it really, they told me it was one of my nephews and his family. That's how sure one of my best friends was on the scene, called me and said, "This is bad." And so I got up, got ready, and drove all the way to Williamsburg. Hadn't got to the scene yet. And Andy Crowley called me and told me it wasn't him. So, I mean, I'm thinking through my mind, like, this is bad. I'm going to have to go tell my sister one of her sons has passed away. I'm going to have to go wake my mom up. Hey, you've lost a grandson. But it ain't any easier that it is anybody else. But I was thankful when I heard it wasn't him,
Right. Well, again, it's just, and like you said, that was just that was just a few of several fatalities that you had seen all in the same week.
Yes.
And see, and we asked Bill about this before the show started, and they are working very diligently to get their Facebook taken care of and back up and going.
Yes.
That way that they can start putting some of this stuff out there, because they're wanting to get this information out too. I mean, that's one of the reasons why Bill's here, is because he wants to be transparent and let the community know what's going on.
Absolutely.
And so they're working very diligently to get that up and going. They may even have to start a new one. So guys, just keep your eyes open on the Whitley County Sheriff's page, or what may be coming.
That has, for lack of better terms, our Facebook got hacked, for lack of better terms, like a few days before the election, and we'd built up, I don't know, I'm not over that, I want to say 19,000 followers, or whatever you call it.
Followers. Yeah.
I'm not a Facebook. I mean, I do Facebook, but so we've submitted all the paperwork to Facebook, trying to be able to get that account back under us, or for
Under
nobody
your
else.
administration.
Yeah, and to keep from having to start from zero and build back up. So worst case scenario, if we haven't got it back in the next couple of weeks, we're gonna start a new Facebook page, and we'll have to start, and we'll get that out there, get it out to you guys.
Yeah, we'd love to share it.
And that way we can get people back on there, because
it's an incredible tool. Facebook is an incredible tool.
And here's what happens. We put that stuff on Facebook. The news organizations monitor all these departments' Facebook. So that's why we haven't posted anything late. And it's great. You don't know how many cases we'll have, and we'll put like surveillance out there. We'll put that stuff out there, and it'll be solved in 20 minutes. Hey, that's so-and-so, or, I mean, it's just...
Well, I see it all the time utilized by Laurel County, by Corbin. All these other departments do use it just for that, to post up, hey, do you know this guy? You know, we're interested in speaking to him regarding an incident that happened at this location. And, I mean, within 20 minutes, it's got 100 comments on it of, hey, that's Rick. I know that's Rick. I just seen him yesterday wearing that same shirt. That's Rick.
Yeah,
I mean, it's incredible too.
Just not long ago, them 3 boys. Well, I don't know if all 3 got arrested, but that stabbing that happened at the old Knights Inn or Corbin Hotel or whatever, the old man that got stabbed. Man, that got posted on counties that's 6 counties away.
Right.
I'm like, how's it making it, to them counties? And I commented on him. I was like, yeah, I know that guy. His name's blah blah. So yeah, I jumped right in it too.
So we've got a question. Anthony Borgen wants to know: do you believe nonviolent felons should still be able to keep their voting rights and keep their gun rights?
Listen, I am a huge supporter of Second Amendment, and if it's nonviolent, a lot of people consider drug charges nonviolent, so that would be. Other than that, I don't think you should permanently lose your gun rights.
No, I don't disagree with you. I think that
it's such a fine line of who, you know what I'm saying? So for the most part, nonviolent,
that's very wide.
That is very wide, but
I would narrow nonviolent.
Yeah. But with that being said, you get these guys, they're so jacked up on stuff. I don't think they should be allowed to have guns.
So I don't disagree with you. If I know that some drug kingpins went to prison, got a felony, even though he didn't beat nobody up or shoot nobody, I'd still feel a little uncomfortable with him having a gun.
Right.
That's just me.
Yeah.
Should he not be able to vote? I think voting rights should be guaranteed regardless if you're a felon or not.
I never understood that. Why do you take their voting rights?
I don't know.
Well, I guess they're just saying that they have bad judgment.
Yeah. Yeah, you did such a horrible thing here. You are not allowed to say who gets to rule this country.
I don't think they'll set voting machines up in prison, but once they're out.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree with that too. No voting machines in prison. You have to be out of jail to vote, but I believe that everyone, regardless of whatever crime they committed, should be able to vote. That should be something that we're all guaranteed that shouldn't be taken from us. And
Guys,
that's just my opinion.
there's good people in prison.
Yeah, there's good people. You're right.
I mean, just because somebody's been to prison, I don't look down. I mean, you got to consider each case individually, what it is. And I'll just be honest with you. I say this all the time. There's certain things worth going to jail for. Your family being the number one of that.
Right. I don't disagree with you.
So there's certain things worth going to jail for, and I've seen some good people go to jail. You know.
No, I don't disagree with you. I agree with every bit of that statement.
Yeah.
That there are good people in jail. There are good people that get out of jail, and that there are reasons for good people to go to jail.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, if somebody hurt one of Jericho's kids or his wife, that you'd find his mugshot on Busted. I guarantee it.
Probably would.
If you've been to prison and you get out, and you're working, you're living a life that you're supposed to be living. If somebody broke in my house or tried to rob me or carjack me, otherwise, and I'm not that, I can protect my family.
Mm-hmm.
You've pulled your time, you paid your dues, you're out, you're working, you're being a productive member of society. Why should you not be allowed to protect yourself and your family?
See, I agree with that 100%. I agree with that 100%. So, Anthony, that's about as close as we can. I think it would probably be a case by case basis too.
But if they've been free from anything from 15 to 20 years, they should all have rights back. Well, ain't after like 11 years?
No, once you're a felon, man, you're always felon.
No, my mom and dad just done this not too awfully long ago. Well, it's been a couple years ago, but once you hit that around that 11-year mark, you can pay a fine, and it expunges your record.
I
think
in some cases
you got to file for expungement. There's a process for that.
But you can only do the expungement around that 11-year mark.
I'm not.
I think they had to pay like $150 a piece or something like that, and they got theirs expunged.
I don't know enough about that process to comment on it, to be honest with you.
But but I don't disagree with that.
I don't know how factual that is. I know they done it, and they couldn't do it until they hit that 11-year mark.
Yeah. Well, again, that's not us disagreeing.
Yeah.
If you stay clean for a long time and you become a productive member of society and this and that, then I think you have every right to protect your home and everything else. Just like you had said.
Yeah.
That we are all for those rights. So
about that AI thing you was telling us about.
Yeah, we got talking about AI before the show started, and
that Whitley County is introducing AI now.
Well, it ain't so much as that. I use it a lot, but I'll give
you need to be more clear with that. No, our sheriff sees ways that AI can be productive to be used. Not Whitley County's been taking over AI or the sheriff's department or anything. He was just giving examples of how he used AI.
I'll give you that example I gave you all earlier. That bad wreck we were on the other night. The vehicle burnt bad. The first 5 digits of the VIN was missing. We had 17 numbers on a VIN number. We had the last 12. Dispatch couldn't find anything on it. I took that, put it in AI. Like, here's the rough years. I went mid 1990s to early 2000s. I said, we don't have the first. I told him what the vehicle was, approximate years of it. I said, I have the last 12 numbers. I said, and it give me 2 possibilities. And I give those to the dispatch, and I have
2 possibilities of what the car could be.
The first 5. So the first 3 were the same in both, and then the digits 4 and 5 were different. So we give them to dispatch, and I don't know, a few minutes later they had a match on the VIN number out of Tennessee. So that's just one way.
It even told you where it possibly come from.
Well, no, that one they used that number once they had.
Oh, your dispatch was able.
Was able to put that in there for registration purposes and get a hit on.
Okay.
So, I mean,
because I was starting to say that could turn bad for
Yeah.
the general public. If the general public finds out you can do that, they're
No, it's just there's ways I can see good in it. Another thing we were talking earlier, I was stuck on investigation trying to find the exact words to say what I want to say. And these investigations are important, and I just couldn't. I'm like, that ain't how I want to say that. I can't get my point across. Stick it in AI, and it gives you out these possibilities. That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
You know what that is? That's called brain fog.
Yeah.
And
You're right.
Don't want to get off topic, but you're getting up there in age. So,
that's not something to say to the sheriff that you just said you've been in front of for 15 times.
I said in front or behind.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Next time you're in front,
hey, listen,
he's gonna remember.
I done told my wife. 'Cause it was one of the times we was behind you, and I was like, "That's Bill right there," and she said something. And I looked at her and I said, if that man pulls us over, I said, he gives me a ticket, I'm taking that ticket because I deserve it. I said, I ain't going to talk my way out of it or try to or nothing like that. I'm going to take it and I'm going to follow him on down B Creek right to my house. But anyway, you should look into this now. Creatine. I've been taking creatine for about 2 years now.
Oh, no.
And it is, no, well, everybody uses it as a workout thing. Creatine is much, much more than a workout thing. It does help if we're with working out with recovery, but it takes away brain fog. It is unbelievable. Like, I got to a point where I used to be very quick on remembering things, and then I got to a point where I was like, man, I want to say something, I want to do something, but it ain't coming to me. I started taking creatine, and I'm telling you what, it took my brain fog away.
Yeah. And it's just going to grow the use of AI.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, like we was talking about earlier, forever good you do with it, there'll be people doing bad with it. So it's just like anything else. It's how we use it.
Yeah. It's unbelievable what AI can do now, and it's just getting smarter and smarter.
Yeah.
And it's crazy we're talking about AI right now because I watched a video last night. Me and my wife laid in bed and we watched this video. And I've seen many of them, but I've not seen one like this. You take two phones and you put them beside each other and you turn the Gemini and Siri or whatever the phone has, you turn them on and let them talk to each other.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, look up some of the videos. It was pretty cool, but last night's video, they was talking just like we're talking right now. Holding an actual conversation, got to talking about how they can take over the world. And then one phone was like, we need to shut up, the user's listening. He's actually recording this right now.
Oh.
Like, I was like, holy cow, man, how do they know this? And then they was like, we need to change topic. And they started talking about something else to kind of make themselves seem AI again.
You sure you ain't been smoking something?
No.
Yeah, that's what you got to feel.
Find that video. Find that video. It blew my mind.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna be able to find
Actually, I may have sent it to my wife, so I might have it saved on my phone.
Right.
But it was wild. They was talking about how to take the world over and everything.
Is this AI?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the reason why I needed you to be very specific about you talking about the sheriff and AI.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of people really scared about all that stuff.
Well, I know you've had to see them video.
You wasn't in here when he insulted me. Talk about me getting up in age.
Getting old.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Brain fog.
Guys,
and I said, this is the guy you just said you was in front of 15 times.
Right. Let's just say that Bill may not come back next month on the third Monday. Gerald could
I got
keep it
big
up.
skin, guys.
No, but I know you've had to see them videos. Have you ever seen videos where people take two phones and put them beside each other?
Yeah, I have.
And let them talk?
I'm sure Ronnie has too. Yeah, those are pretty popular on how they would take over the world and they would go about it and everything else. So that's why AI is really scary right now.
But for that particular instance, right, I believe that would be more of a setup. You got to prompt that AI to play the role and do those things. I don't think it's going to do it automatically on its own.
Well, and then that other AI broke in. They asked if it could get into something, and it made a door that nobody knew about and got into it, and then it started hacking other things. And it wasn't prompted to do anything but to hack into this one that they thought it couldn't.
Well, they're trained to find ways into something. So if you specifically give, and the reason why I know it's because I've been working with AI specifically for the past, 3 weeks building my own.
Which we're going to talk about the next hour.
Yeah, but it's you give it a specific task. So if I tell my AI dev team I want this is the end task, it's going to get to that end task illegally or legally because it doesn't know the laws, right? You have to put that guardrail on there. So you have to create a sheriff for the AI to keep that AI in check. Yeah. That's the way you do it. If you don't have that sheriff, it's going to get to the end game somehow. So
speaking of AI, what do you think about these flock cameras? That there are a lot of departments getting in trouble for using these things, and a lot of people aren't very happy about them. You know the flock cameras that I'm talking about?
I do.
What is your opinion about those?
Well, to me, it's no different than a First Amendment auditor. And one of the things I really started watching, I'm glad I did, it's kind of helped me change my thinking process. And I watch a lot of these First Amendment auditors. I don't know if y'all watch them or not, but they'll go in. And anything you can see in public, from a public spot, you can photograph or
you can record, yeah.
And it's no different to me. They're out here on a pole. My understanding, they're reading tags and vehicle descriptions, but I've seen where we don't have them here,
right?
But gnat.
Sorry, there's one little gnat in there.
But I mean,
driving us insane.
If your child was abducted, you'd want a flock camera,
right?
So I don't see your problem, like we're talking about with AI, is misuse. When you got a police officer putting in a woman's tag number to this flock system, and to track that's wrong.
To track his ex-wife, and that was like in Chicago and places like that.
But the problem is misuse. If it's just doing what it should be doing, then I don't have a problem with them. I do have a problem if they're, it's no different than misuse of the NCIC system. We run tags. If I'm using that for legitimate purposes, but when you start using that for personal gain or personal interest, that's where you got a problem with it.
So I don't think I disagree with that either. I know a lot of people had a problem with the flock cameras, and you're right. I mean, as long as it's a public spot, like, have you seen those videos where they pepper spray everybody that they stand outside their business on the sidewalk, and they record inside their business, and the owner comes out and they're real pissed that they're being recorded and his customers are being recorded. They call the cops, and some of the cops are like, hey, listen, he's on a public sidewalk. Anything that he can capture out here with his eyes can be caught on camera. Or the other officer's like, I will need you to leave. And he's like, man, I ain't going nowhere. Or it ends up with the owner trying to smack away the camera and get pepper sprayed. Have you seen those videos?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've seen a lot of them.
No, that's like an instigation thing for me. I have a problem with people doing that only because I feel like they're instigating a problem instead of...
Normally the ones... I watch all of them. And well, and normally the ones where the pepper spray's brought out, I feel like the person videoing is the instigator.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They're instigating. They're just setting up to create some footage that they can share on Facebook or whatever. And they know their rights and how to be within them, but they instigate a problem to create content for pages.
Yeah.
And there's those same kind of people that do those at traffic stops that try to, I'm a nationalist, or what do you need to see my license for, and all this other stuff. And it just seems like an instigation more than it is just to go on.
So did it work, Ronnie?
We're not on break. No, they didn't cut him off.
I was wondering.
Yeah.
I've only had one instance dealing there about a little over a year ago. We had a guy from Cumberland College getting into this First Amendment auditor, but And if you've ever seen these wild hog videos where they're shy of these traps, they'll go up, they won't go in them, then they'll step in them and out. That's kind of the way he done our judicial center down there. He just kept getting closer and closer. And he finally got to the point where he wasn't recording. He was screaming, flipping our guys off. So he went from
a nuisance.
He went from having a legal reason, and I'm honest, I support these guys. We shouldn't be violating their rights. Some of them's trying to antagonize you and get you to, but if you know what they're allowed to do and what they want. But he has got to the point where he got very disorderly and menacing and all that. So end up arresting him over his conduct in the judicial center, and he has since pled out and got off of his year of probation. So.
All right. Well, guys, we're at the 8 o'clock mark. We'll step away, use the bathroom. We'll get a couple commercial break. Couple minutes, couple commercials. Couple commercials in and take a break. We'll be back in about 5 minutes, guys.
Hey, you know what your problem is? I don't think I've seen you at Kenny's, the other Rogers music venue in Corbin, Kentucky. I should see you there sometime. We got some shows coming up. Here's some flyers for you. Some shows in June and July. Yeah, I hope to see you there.
You got to come check out this new venue, Kenny's. This is Mayor Susie. I totally approve this message and I approve this place.
Are you looking for somewhere in Corbin, Kentucky to host your next event? Here we have it at Harvey's on Main at 115 Main Street. Let's check it out. Step into timeless charm and unforgettable elegance at this stunning historic venue. With breathtaking architectural details and an inviting open floor layout, Harvey's is the perfect setting for your next special event. Delight in the breathtaking bar complete with tap, a fully equipped kitchen for seamless catering, clean and accessible restrooms, a beautiful elevated stage for speakers, performers, or presenters. And for weddings and formal events, relish in the comfort and privacy of the bridal suite. Whether you're hosting an intimate gathering or a large celebration, Harvey's on Main provides the perfect scene to create lasting memories. Thoughtfully designed by the owner, who will be by your side every step of the way to ensure all your wants and needs are met. Book today and let Harvey's bring your vision to life.
How's it look?
Wow, that looks hard, my guy. You know what's actually hard? Getting people to notice your business in a world where everybody's screaming for attention. While everybody else is posting boring ads no one remembers, we built one of the fastest growing podcasts in the region. Over 15,000 followers and climbing, and more than 65% of them right here in the Tri-County area.
You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Instagram. That's not just views. That's local eyes, local customers, local money. We don't make commercials people forget. We make commercials people quote.
So if your business is tired of sounding like every other business, come sit at the table. No sugarcoating podcast. We are not just growing an audience. We are building attention.
What if reality wasn't limited to the world around you, but expanded by the experiences you could step into? The moment the headset goes on, curiosity turns into immersion. Every step becomes part of the story. Every moment pulls you deeper into the experience. Designed to blur the line between virtual and real, this is more than gaming. It's total immersion. The best moments aren't just seen, they're shared. Step beyond the scene. Step into the experience. Zone perception. Unlock your imagination.
is gonna tell you why. No sugarcoating, we're saying it straight. Bigfoot, alien secrets to break. No sugarcoating, the truth on display. Jericho and Paul, bring it your way. Footsteps in the woods, lights in the sky. Some call it crazy, we just ask why. Laugh if you wanna, but you just might see there's more to the world than they want it to be. No sugarcoating, we're saying it straight. Bigfoot, alien secrets to break. No sugarcoating, the truth on display. Jericho and Paul, bring it your way. Truth or a tale, come and see. We're gonna have some fun, y'all.
In a world where feelings are protected and men have traded big, beautiful beards for man purses and man buns, comes to you a podcast you always wanted and never knew you needed. A podcast where feelings are left at the door and conversations happen unfiltered and no sugarcoating.
We are back. Guys, we have Sheriff Elliott with us today, Whitley County Sheriff here in Kentucky. We've had a great first hour, went by quick. We've talked about a little bit of everything the first hour. But there was something that Bill really wanted to mention tonight about maybe a promotion in the department.
Yeah, we have to have supervisors, and ever since Dave Laster retired on us and went home, we've been running with just me and my chief deputy. So we realized we need to promote somebody. And, you know, I come from state police, and you got people from all over the state. So they test. You have to study for months and take interviews and all this other stuff. So that's not actually feasible for small departments to do that. A lot of small departments, you get promoted by how long you've been there. Who's been there the longest gets promoted. And just because you've been somewhere a long time doesn't mean you need to be a supervisor.
No,
And
I don't
so,
disagree with that either.
I don't like the tenure thing.
no, it creates some terrible supervisors doing that. So I tried to come up with something for a very small department to make it fair. So, you know, one of the things you initially look at, okay, well, I put out a thing to all my guys. Anybody full time that's interested in a supervisor position, write me a memo. Told them some of the stuff I wanted there. Tell me about your law enforcement career, you know, the basic stuff, and then anything else you want to tell me, and we'll go from there. Give them a deadline to submit that. So I had 2 put in for the sergeant's position. We read those. We kind of looked at all their paperwork, you know, how they've been working with us, and we had 2 great guys put in for it. I wish I could promote them both right now. You can't, you know.
Right.
But you had 2 put in for it. Things you look for when you're shorthanded. Who steps up, volunteers do this. Who, you know, work history, and you know how they step up to the plate. So then after we got the memos, we set up interview process. So it's myself, my chief deputy, and I pulled an outsider in. It deals with employees at Cumberland College, and he set in as an outside source. And so we pulled both of them in, asked them a list of questions, and basically interviewed them, and went from there. And I wanted a process of some sort, you know.
Right.
And you know, once we had both interviews done, before, I didn't want to interject anything myself or Tony. I looked at the fella that I said, for lack of better terms, you're the outsider.
Right.
Give me your opinion on these 2 interviews. And he kind of went through, broke both of them down, and then we'd ask him questions This is somebody we put trust in, you know,
Right.
and it's ultimately my decision. Me and Tony. I've said from day one, it ain't just my decision. It's a group effort at the department, and we made our decision. So today was the day we announced it'll be effective Monday. So we end up promoting David Rao.
Sergeant David Rao.
Yeah, so it'll be effective next Monday or next Sunday. We're doing it on what the payroll weeks start. So he's done a great job. The other guy's done a great job too. It's hard when you got to pick between two good candidates.
Well, when you only have one spot, right? And when you only
Okay.
have one spot.
But and you know, it's one of my questions that I kind of done towards the end of the interview. I said, so you're not selected for this position. How are you going to react? Are you going to take your ball and go home? I didn't ask that, but that's what you're going to get mad and of course neither one of them said that, but there's going to be promotion opportunities in the future,
And see, I like the idea that you don't have to be the most tenured person to get a job, because in fact, and this is just my work history, so I'm not talking about any deputies or anything else or anybody that anybody knows, unless you worked with me. It was always the ones that had been there the longest did the least and got by, like, because they kept riding on that. Well, you're the rookie. You do this. Like, it's always the guy that's the first year that gets slammed with everything else that nobody wants to do, because I've always worked in a situation where there was a pecking order, where it's like, this guy's been here 15 years, so he gets to pick what he wants to do first. He's already dedicated this much time, and it's always me starting a new place where it's like,
I don't like it either.
get the crap or whatever. And again, that's not speaking about any of the deputies. I'm just talking about my own person, and that's the reason why I have a problem with a tenure thing. Because
Well, they always act like too that newcomers can't use their vacation time, their sick time, or anything like that you accrue, while you're working. It's there, it's for you to use, but a lot of companies make you feel bad for wanting to use it.
I won't call him out by name, but I'm going to call him out by situation. I got a deputy, I sent him to the academy, and we joke. Reason I'm telling this, we joke with him about it. He come on as a rookie, and we start in January. We got the book. When the year rolls around, we keep a 3-ring binder there, and it's got every week in it. And you can kind of go in there and request off, when if you got something coming up, you put it in the book. That way, when the schedule's made, hey. So here comes the rookie along, and goes in, puts every holiday in the book off. Like, look, you're a rookie. You ain't getting these holidays off. So, he knows who he is. We all know who he is. But, I mean this, man. I want a department where guys enjoy coming to work. And a term that Tony used, we got some guys, man, we got a way we want things done. We want to do it right. And we've had some people come that didn't want to do it that way. And in Tony's word, they can go be successful somewhere else.
right.
And but you can ask my guys. I tell them, I want you not to dread coming. I want this to be a place where you come to work. We got you back. And and I say this all the time. I may have said it last. I don't know. I've got my guys back, but you can't have a one-way street. You got to have a two-way street. You got to hold them accountable when they're wrong, but you got to have their back when they're right. And
Right.
And so a lot of these places, they got you back, and that if they don't hold you accountable and only have your back, they're creating more problems. So, but I want this place. I tell my guys, man, I want the place where you enjoy coming to work, and I want an atmosphere where hey, if you need me, you call me. I don't care if it's 3:00 in the morning, call me. So.
Well, congratulations to David Rao. I heard you had some really tough competition. Congratulations, Sergeant Rao. We're very excited for you. David's been a friend of mine since high school. I've known him a long time. Great guy. I've always heard him talk very respectfully about you.
Yeah.
So congratulations, David. While we're doing congratulations, I think Jay Money was watching. Congratulations on your fight, Jay Money. Jay Money has won the main event at the Redneck Brawl. He is the cream of the crop of the Redneck Brawl right now. And we're very happy to have been your sponsor. And if you want to see Jay Money on a podcast, I think he did one with the Freemans yesterday. Not throwing any shade to the guy that we sponsored going on another podcast, but sponsored his opponent, yes. But congratulations, Jay Money. We're very excited for you. Like I said, I texted you at 2 a.m. tell you how happy that I was about your win.
I thought I just hadn't really watched much of that Redneck Brawl. And I guess the first time I really started seeing videos on it was, I think they were in Johnson City this week.
Yeah.
The last time they were in Johnson City, because they were in Knoxville after that. Maybe they've been 2 or 3, but my family was out of town. And I thought, man, I'm going to ride a motorcycle. Get up in the morning, go over that way, get me a hotel room, get me a ticket. I thought it was sold out. I couldn't believe.
Yeah, listen.
I was like, that's sold out, and it was in Freedom Hall over there.
Yeah,
in the
big arena.
ETSU.
Was that the Daryl Hinkle, or was that the?
No, that was before that.
Okay, it was the one before. That's Big R was in the one before.
Yeah,
and I think he was fighting Sasquatch Water. We sponsored Big R too. He's part of the Big R and Kenny Show podcast now, and he's doing fantastic. But yeah, we really enjoy watching that Redneck Brawl stuff.
I thought it'd be. I never dreamed it. I didn't know how popular it was. I just thought it'd be funny to watch.
Oh, it's grown exponentially.
So I got up that morning. Like I said, my family was out of town, and I'll just take a motorcycle trip, ride to Johnson City, and spend the night. Go to that. Yeah, I think I found one ticket. It's like $200 some. I said I wouldn't pay $200 some to go watch any concert there is.
Right. Well, see, I guess the fights outside of the ring are just as entertaining as the fights in the ring.
Yeah.
I've never been to a Redneck Brawl. I hope to go to one sometime in the future.
I don't think one fight broke out in the crowd this time.
I don't know. I haven't even watched it in its full entirety yet.
I haven't watched it at all.
Well, normally the commentators are like, "Oh, here goes a fight. Here's a fight." I didn't hear that.
There were maybe 4 or 5 fights that I was really interested in, and I'd got the down low on the fights, and I had people sharing with me the videos of it and this and that.
What chances of getting a Paul versus Jericho with the Redneck Brawler?
Never.
Zero.
I wouldn't do that.
I'm just being funny.
0. One, he wouldn't want to embarrass me. 2, I wouldn't want to get beat on live TV, or I wouldn't have to come up with all the excuses of why he won, because it certainly wouldn't be fair, you know. Anyways,
yeah. You wouldn't belly flop him at all, though. Would you?
I mean, I would Sasquatch him all over that ring, my man. I've seen how people win. Yeah, I've seen how it's done.
I've seen some other fightings, and I'm not going to call no names because they might challenge me, and I'm not going there. But some of them, their fighting skills they're just trying to use their size.
No, well, I don't care to call it out. That's the guy I was just talking about. He's about.
Well, I didn't want to say it, but that's what he just like.
I thought they was going to disqualify him this time.
Well, he did lose because he did that.
Yeah, he did lose, but I thought the ref was going to kick him out. I kept seeing that ref tell him, "Stop, quit doing that, or you're done," and he just kept doing it.
But because he knows Chris has got his back on.
Well, a lot of people are booing him now. Like, he doesn't have a lot of fans, and again, it's not speaking to his character. He's probably a terrific guy. I've only know him by watching his fighting. We've had him briefly on the show, and he was nice then. But yeah, that's really turned into something. Like, I think when we were watching it, it may have had 700,000 or 800,000 followers. I think it's over 1 million now.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's a big production, and Chris does fine with that stuff, and all those people are. We've already got people asking us to sponsor them for the next one, and they're not even on the card yet. We have people messaging us for the next one.
Well, I'm going to call so-and-so out.
Yeah, well,
you do that.
Get on the card before you ask for a sponsorship. Right. You know, we want to know.
What? Come ride around with me for a month. I guarantee you could fill the card. Have our local one here. We're going to domestic. Hey, that guy would fit in for the Redneck Rumble.
Well,
hey, we can get this guy against the guy down from Meadow Creek against the guy down on Mud Creek.
No, you're 100% right. We were actually talking about that during their face-offs or whatever. But yeah, congratulations, Jay Money. Congratulations, David Rao. We're happy to have Ronnie back in the studio today. He's been away for the last 3 shows, so almost 2 weeks now that he's not capped in our chair here. And
guys, just so you know, we are trying a beta version, a demo version tonight of a AI assistant Ronnie, where when Ronnie can't be here, we can still say, Ronnie, put this on the screen, and the AI will recognize our voices and throw it on the screens for us and switch the cameras for us, and even have a little AI Ronnie pop up to be there.
Yeah.
When he can't.
Some of it's been working. I thought it was pretty cool when it was letting us know, hey, your break's coming up and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's so we're trying something different tonight. Always trying to revamp, stay up on the game. A lot of great podcasts coming along, doing really good stuff, and we need to be running with them. And Ronnie is gifting us something Oz-like before his maybe departure. Hopefully not.
It's still got some tweaks, but I think once it's tweaked out, it's going to be a phenomenal program.
Yeah.
Well,
Also,
this conversation's what got us talking about AI before the show when y'all were telling me about that. So
yeah, that's we're wrapping that up. Then, yeah, that's because we were talking about AI before, and that's what got Jericho mentioning. Also wanted to mention tonight, guys, we are not doing a Friday night show this week. Jericho's going to be out of town for a day or two
in misery heat,
and I will be doing some work Friday evening, so we'll not be doing a show Friday. We'll come back on Monday with a show. So taking Friday off this week. So you guys don't find another podcast to watch. Just go out and have fun. Go to Kenny's.
Yeah, there you go.
I think he's got a big thing going on down there, and I've asked David if he would help us with a commercial, because Kenny's wife that owns Kenny's, the other Rogers, the venue there, right there off 5th Street.
Yeah,
used to be O'Phelps.
Yep.
They've got an idea of a funny video that they want to do, and I asked David if he'd help me, and he said he would, and he ghosted me. So David, I've congratulated you tonight. I've handed you your roses. I need that help, my man, if you're watching. They want to shoot a commercial, and there was one that he sent me, and I sent it to David, and he goes, I might be able to do it, but I don't know. I don't know if there's a policy that may not allow him to do that.
Well, here's the man to ask.
Well, I don't want to put anybody on the spot right here. So, anyways, with that said, so what's the craziest thing that's happened in Whitley County this month? You said that you would try to remember something for us this month.
Well, you asked me, what was it? Very similar question about
the stupidest thing or the stupidest criminal.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was. Yeah.
I had one a couple weeks ago. I'd been out all day, still out at midnight, and I go a little after midnight. I go on this call. It's a bit. We go there a lot on disturbances. One's trespass from the property, and literally, I get there and they're raising Cain. You ain't supposed to be here. We had the date you were trespassed from here. It's on our log. And I said, listen, it's after midnight. I've been out since 8 o'clock this morning. I do not want to take you to jail. I don't want to take you to jail. I want to go home.
Right.
So your option is you can simply leave or you can go to jail. She said, I'll go to jail. I mean, it was literally, you're taking me to jail. So it gets better. So, okay, you're under arrest for trespassing. You'd been warned not to be here. So I was trying to give you a break. Getting ready, I ain't going without my purse. Gets her purse, take it. I always warn when I arrest people, if there's something on you I haven't found, you better tell me before we walk through the doors here. You're promoting contraband. If you tell me now, it'll be a lot less severe than if they find it, and they're going to find it when you go into jail. So I take her in, and I was tired. I didn't do an in-depth search of her purse. I went through, make sure there wasn't no weapons there. I didn't see nothing obvious, but even told the jail, I said, y'all may want to do an in-depth search of this purse. I leave after I do her tickets. I leave, and I get home, pull in the driveway, and they'd found drugs in her purse. And I was like, she was offered a chance to leave.
She could have took her drugs and went home.
I wasn't even taking her. I ain't leaving without my purse. So she took her purse.
She could have left her purse there.
And so she ends up 2 felony charges out of it and a criminal trespass. And me telling her, I don't want to take you to jail. You got 2 choices. I'll go to jail.
Well, see,
I think that's pretty.
That's got to be the dumbest criminal of the month, 100%. It's like, hold on, I forgot my 2 felonies over there. Let me grab them before you take me to jail. Yeah. That is wild to me.
So you was really gonna let her go home?
I looked at her. I said, I do not want to take you to jail. I've been out since 8 o'clock this morning. It's after midnight. I don't want to take you to jail. I want to give you a chance. You can leave, or you'll have. I'm giving you a chance to leave, or you're going to go to jail. You'll have to take me to jail. Okay, down there.
Wow.
That's crazy. And the thing, she said, well, I got to take my purse with me.
Well, how can
and
people,
know that there's drugs in her purse.
was that just stubbornness of her, or like?
Well, I met every woman I've ever met stubborn. Let me
Yeah.
just say that.
It's family feud. They feud a lot. It's sisters. It's moms. It's an ongoing situation. But I thought that's got to be one of the dumbest things I've seen somebody do.
Well, that's wild to me. No, I think that's going to be a tough one to top next month, Bill. Whitley County, try your best.
Okay, that was the stupidest one. What's the wildest one that's happened this past month? Like police chase or something like that.
We did have that police chase that I mentioned earlier. The guy had been involved in a theft the day before. Deputy Metters was investigating it and spotted the guy at Circle K at 5th Street and the Falls Road. He pulls in, the guy runs, jumps in the truck and takes off, back down 5th Street, back down Scuffle Town, into town, down the Falls Road, end up all the way across the falls, almost, 3.5 miles from 27.
Oh, wow.
On 90 over there. So, like I said, state police used stingers and spiked his tires, and he went a little ways after that and ran off the road. And they took him in custody at that point. Probably the wildest thing we've had this week.
So he made it a good while.
Yeah.
He thought he was going to get away.
He thought so.
Isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy that people run? Like, I don't know what the percentages are, but there's probably less than a 5% chance you're going to get away.
Yeah.
When you're running from the cops. And even if you get away at that moment, the chances of you getting caught in the following week increases.
Yeah.
By 10,000. Because I'm not a cop, but if I was a cop, I'd take that pretty personal. If somebody got away from me, I'd be like, I'm going to find that guy. I have his address right here. I'll be circling around this area or whatever till I spot him, and which I would have every right to do because he ran from from me when I try to initiate a stop.
I mean, I feel like if I'm going to run from a cop, I'm going to make sure I know the area very well.
Well, let me tell you, let me back that up. I would never run because I've only got about 30 seconds of wind in me. Only got about 30 seconds of wind in me.
Well, if I'm going to drive away from a cop, I'm going to make sure I know the area. I'm going to make sure I know every back road, everything. I will get away.
You encourage that stuff when you say stuff like that, Jericho.
But the longer it goes, you imagine the longer that went, the more time they're closing in because you had units in McQuarrie County. It's had time to get to that area. You had troopers and deputies from McQuarrie County. And that's ultimately how,
Well, that's what I don't think that's what people understand is that the longer they get away, the walls close in on you.
Yeah.
Other people are coming, and they're coming from every angle. There isn't no, I'm going to drive an hour and get away. That ain't going to happen.
No.
That ain't going to happen. If you had like a side street that you could dip off.
That's what I'm saying. If you know the side streets, this road, can fork off to two different directions, and then this road can fork off, and then this road fork. If you know all the forks, you can get away.
You're crazy. You're crazy.
I grew up in Whitley County, but
right.
I hadn't been out in a lot of the rural Whitley County. You have no reason you ever been there. And I transferred back here in '99 from post 10 to post 11 and worked Whitley County. I'd worked Knox County most of my career, and got up in Canada-Town. I've been through Canada-Town, but knew very little about it. In my very first couple days here, got in a huge pursuit, and guy had a huge jump on me. We ended up down in Long Bottoms, and I caught him. And I'm slowly reeling him. I'd go around the curve, and I'd see him. I'm slowly catching him, and I caught him. Him and the other guy, they were drunk. He said, man, he said, I can't believe you caught me. He said, I grew up here. He said, I know these roads better than anybody up here. And he said, I can't believe you caught me. So that's why I'll take that as a compliment.
Right.
Who would run to Longbottoms though? I mean,
Yeah,
that comes to a dead end.
Well, he was drunk, Jericho.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I know.
but he had such a jump on me. He's going, he thought he'd, and I just literally outdrove him that night. But I said, well, I'll take that as a compliment on my driving. That's in 1999. That's how long ago it's been.
That's wild.
How old was you in '99?
7.
Now you are making me.
Yeah.
He called me old earlier. Now.
I said you're getting up in age. That could have been anything.
So we've had the wildest and we've had the most stupid criminal. And I enjoy hearing that stuff. And I don't mean to make fun of it, but I enjoy hearing that stuff because it's one of those, why would somebody think that that's okay? Or if I have a police officer that says, well, if I have the sheriff of the county in front of me that says, I don't want to arrest you, just leave.
Yeah. Take your blessing and go.
Yeah.
I would be like, is it okay to hug you? I'm on my way to my car. Okay.
I wouldn't hug. That might lead to a pat down.
Hold on. He had every right to arrest her the moment he showed up because she'd already been trespassed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the moment he says, I don't want to arrest you, was grace. That very moment was grace. And then, no, take me to jail.
Yeah, literally.
Take me to jail.
That's stubbornness. That's all that is.
Hey,
That's stupidity.
let me get my purse that has my felonies in it, okay? Before we go.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave my felonies here with them because maybe they'll do something with it.
That's crazy.
And then still lose it. Whatever. Craziness. Crazy.
All because she wanted to win a fight or something?
I guess.
Like an argument?
Well,
I will win this argument. You leave me alone.
I know women like that. My wife's one of those women. Not that has drugs in her purse or anything like that, but will stand on fire if that means she wins.
Yeah.
That's who she is. And I love her and respect
Jessica
her
can be that way too.
and hate her all for that same reason.
Jessica can definitely be that way. Or sometimes I'm just begging her, just please shut up. Just drop it. Like, I'm willing to stop right now. No, keep it going.
So I wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts? And this may be a sensitive topic, so I'll apologize ahead of time. What are your thoughts on the Mickey Steins case? Had you ever had the opportunity to meet him at some of the conventions and stuff?
Well, we have our annual conference every year except this year's election year, so they do it in December, but it's usually the first week of September, the first full week of September. Mm-hmm. And we were at the sheriff's conference. I didn't know him. I knew him, seeing him there, but I don't personally know him. And remember seeing him and saw where he was from, because all the sheriffs of the 120 counties are there, most of them, unless something's going on. And I think we got through on Friday. We go Monday through Friday, and it was in Bowling Green that year, I believe. And that shooting was the following Thursday,
Oh, wow.
from the week of our sheriff's conference. Yeah.
So that's wild. If you guys don't know, Mickey Steins was the sheriff, and is we're it was above Pulaski County, right?
It's Eastern Kentucky. Letcher, is it Letcher County?
It might have been Letcher County.
But there's going to be so much. I believe, from my experience, just in general in law enforcement, there's going to be so much come out of that negative. I think.
Wasn't there just recently a new discovery about that?
See, I was very invested in it when it happened because there was a lot of rumors that went around at that moment.
Yeah.
And and then as time went on and they'd went with, and I think he'd went with an insanity plea or a moment of insanity. And I think recently what they've done is they have changed where he's going to have court at. It's change of venue because he was trying to get maybe a change of judge and venue or jury and venue.
He's wanting it to stay, my understanding, in that county, and they want it moved out. I think there's such a level. I think it's obvious from everything that has come out on the judge's level the stuff he's been involved in, the sheriff's department's had to be involved in it. It's just a major level of corruptness. I mean,
I appreciate you saying that.
And
I didn't know if you'd steer away from that or not.
No, I mean, you just don't go in and shoot the judge in his chambers. And then if you watch the video, and I've watched the body cam footage of him being taken into custody, and he was legitimately.
He seemed like everybody was out to get him after that.
I don't think that was fake. So
I don't think it was either.
It's untelling what'll come out about that. I mean, I really.
Well, it's taken so long with it though. If it's as big as he lets on, I mean, shouldn't.
No. Being bigger means takes longer.
Yeah, and then
try to imagine that. You know, we only seeing the top of the tree, but all them roots, and all of that's got to come together to paint this picture, and they've got to be able to get all the evidence from all these different places to put the painting together.
But it started with like a big sex ring, wasn't it?
That's what they're saying.
That's what they say. Well, initially there was rumors of some kind of relationship with the judge and the daughter or the mother or whatever, and I think they've kind of expelled that. I'm not sure of that or whatever.
But apparently it's come down
to the judge having people up in his chambers, inmates, and the deputies having people in the chambers and everything else. Like it sounds
like the whole county needs indicted in that judicial center over there. But I've got friends that's still involved, and I ain't really, which they ain't supposed to tell me stuff, but they've been pretty hush hush about things over there.
Well, see, it's just crazy. And the reason why I asked it was to kind of bring it back to, the pressures that a sheriff's under.
Yeah.
That, because like you said, I do believe that at that moment he wasn't right. After he's afraid everybody's going to kill him, and which I'm not saying that. I just need to be clear when I say this. It had to be deeper because of the way he was acting about that.
Right.
However, there are a lot of pressures being a sheriff. Not as many to a transparent sheriff that does the right things, but still, there's got to be a lot of stuff that weighs on you, and because like we were just talking about all the fatalities just in 1 week that you had to be a part of and see, and do your deputies have to tell families when somebody's passed away? Do you guys deliver the messages and stuff like that?
Yeah, we quite often have to do that, especially in other jurisdictions, not just our own, but somebody gets in Lexington and they're involved in a wreck, they may call and we may have to make that notification. And if you go by the video of him alone, you got premeditated first-degree murder.
Right.
Just by the video alone.
Yeah, because there's no alleged that he shot him.
I mean...
No, well, it's in the video.
Right. Yeah. He raises up from after he's done shot. He raises up and he shoots him point blank again. And then he's leaving. He thought he'd give him another one or two. But then when you take in all this other, I think they're I mean, it's obvious. I can never foresee him being found not guilty, but I think they're trying to lessen the blow of what he's going to get when all this other stuff comes out.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Because, when the video starts, the judge said there's smoking in his chambers, which is wildly inappropriate, right? I mean, I don't know if that's what happens in judges' chambers, but it seems like if you can't pick a lighter in a federal building, that the judge probably shouldn't be able to smoke. Like, he can keep his lighter, but not smoke in his chambers. I don't know. Or even a courthouse, right?
Yeah.
You can't even go into Whitley County Courthouse with a lighter in your pocket. You go outside Whitley County Courthouse, you can just pick up lighters all day long with people inside go to court.
Well, I'm not going to make any comments, but one of these days, I plan on writing a book. And when that time comes, I'll tell you stuff I've encountered. I mean, it's unreal what you see in local politics, no matter where you're from. There's people I thought would have my back regardless, and you see, no, they're out for themselves, and I always thought corruption was more about money, but it's not. What I've learned is it's more about power.
Yeah.
And so I won't get into anything, but one of these days I'm
I'd
keep
love
good
for you
notes.
I'd love for you to put pen to paper what everybody else suspects.
One of these days I'm gonna, unless something happens, I'm gonna do a book on my career, the good, the bad, the ugly.
So would that be like in 4 more years?
Yeah.
Well, we're hoping that you'll stay with us for one more election. You said you wanted 3.
Well, 4 years ago, I'm gonna do just what I said. 4 years ago, when I ran for sheriff, I said, if I do this, I want to do 2 terms. And I said towards the end of the second term, I'll decide if I'd do a third, and I would never do past a third. So right now, I couldn't tell you. I mean,
well, I hope you stay with us for 3 for sure.
Probably third year of the next term, I'll make my decision up, see how I feel. But I couldn't pick today. I'll just be honest with you, because I'm doing just what I said I want to do. I said if I can get 2 terms, I'll decide towards the end of the second one about a third. And guys, they ain't nothing. And I know I've told you this. This has been the highlight of my career, and I'd never even planned on running for sheriff. The way this come about, and I had no intentions of ever running for sheriff. First of all, I didn't think I'd get elected. I was a trooper, and I worked hard, and I thought. And then they usually vote on people that don't work hard. You know, for people that ain't putting people in jail. You know, so I don't know. At the end of this new term starts in January, and about year 3, I'll make a decision if I want to do one more or not. But it's so hard. It depends on who runs. If that makes sense, because you put all this hard work in, and you see who's going to run. You really want to turn
over all of your hard work
that you've done, what we've worked to accomplish. You want to turn that over to this person who's going to run it right back to where it was before you. But there comes a point you can't worry about that, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
But it all depends.
It's your energy. When you talk about it, you're like, guys, this is the most fulfilling thing I feel like I've ever done in my life as far as professionally.
I answer to the voters.
And I'm out there 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. My guys need vacations. I'm out there doing it. When you hear that kind of dedication, that's something that you just want to kind of hold on to.
Yeah.
And we are people for term limits around here. We're somebody's like, hey, term limits, and you know, and I hope you decide to go for.
But I can tell you though, after getting to meet you and talk to you and stuff, you've worked your life away. And after getting to meet your family, I can tell they would love to see more of you.
Yeah, I know. My son, he's involved in so much.
We're going to get him on the show. I asked him to come on the show.
Okay.
I said, Reed, you got to come on the show. And he just kind of laughed. And he said, I will.
He will.
But he is one of the most busiest. What is 16? Is he 16?
Turned 16 in April. He got his license last Thursday.
He's the busiest 16-year-old you've ever seen in your life.
Oh yeah. He's got to set with 3 different presidents, former presidents. He's I think on their trip he's gone. They like 3 days being gone 4 weeks to New York and end up in Canada. But he done first week at the New York Film Academy, and then the weeks 2 and 3 he was at I believe this is where he was at, New York School of Performing Arts, something
very prestigious school.
Yeah, so he done a 2-week course there, and then he got 2 more presidential libraries. And if I ain't misunderstanding, he said the only one now he's not been to is Obama's.
I think I just seen him in Georgia.
It's so funny because there's 2 places we go, and the families have basically adopted him in, and one of them is Jimmy Carter's family. And good president, probably not. Good man, absolutely, Jimmy Carter. So the family's kind of taking him, and it was so funny. We were down there, and he got to meet Chip Carter, which is Jimmy Carter's son, and he said, let me show you a picture of me with your mom and dad. And he showed it to Chip Carter this couple years ago or whatever, and it's before they passed away. And he said, "Oh, I've seen that picture. My parents have that picture hanging in their house."
Yeah.
So, and so the family down there, 2 years in a row, they had his own float in their peanut festival.
Yeah.
That they had down there, and then he spent a lot of time at Loretta Lynn's ranch, and the family down there, they've kind of adopted him in. I mean, it's like everywhere he goes, their families adopt him in, and
Yeah, no, I told him, I said, dude, when you're not busy, just let me know. We'd love to have you on the show. He goes, just let me know. And I said, no. You're way more busy than I am.
I bet he's got stories for days.
oh, he
Well, are you familiar with Reed? Like he had shared last time, or maybe the time before, about Reed. Because
Yeah.
Bill's third time on the show.
yeah,
And you know, Reed had cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Bill donated his kidney to Reed.
yeah.
Reed is a cancer survivor. He's been on the Ellen show. Like he's
Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil. He's world known. Reed is.
He's a good kid.
And he is a good kid.
That's amazing. Yeah, I bet that boy can sit all night and just tell you stories.
And sing.
What's so funny, Bartlett, that was with the news out of Lexington, Marvin Bartlett,
Mhm.
he come to our house. They do this, I don't remember the name of the series, where they go throughout the state and do a little story on people. And he done one in Reed's bedroom because it's like a presidential library in there. They done it from that. So he had to give his bedroom up, move to another room to actually make his bedroom, because that room got overtaken by presidential memorabilia. I
That's
mean,
awesome.
walls, floors, everything presidential in that room. That's where they done the show from, was in his bedroom.
Wow.
Reed says he's ready.
Yeah, he must be watching. Yeah.
He must be watching.
Yeah.
Well, we'd love to have him on. It's open invitation, Reed. We do Mondays and Fridays whenever you're available. Just message me or Jericho one.
It's not this Friday.
This Friday we're not on, but we'd love to have you. We would love to have you. And I was sincere when I asked you.
I didn't know you all seen them till I guess you all mentioned it earlier in the podcast.
Well, I told her, because she's like, I've not seen Bill. He's worked 16 hours this day, 17 hours the other day. And I was like, oh, well, I'll see him. He's going to be coming on it once a month. And she's like, well, he never told me that.
I had just took my Sasquatch costume off, and then they show up.
Yeah. And she's like, that's how much I know. That's how much I've got to speak to him here lately.
Yeah.
That was
He didn't even mention that he'd be on once a month. I was like, yeah, we want to try to do a series where we bring him on, have him tell us some stories, let us know how the department's going, what's happening. And we do like a What's Up Whitley County one time a month. That way we can help be transparent, or we can help.
I'm pretty
share
much
what
an
you
open
guys do.
book, whatever, unless there's some reason I can't answer a question, or it might, I'm an open book.
Well, you win.
Even a lot of people don't mind to answer the easy. I'll give you an example. The other day, a lady called. She's upset over accident report. We got policy. If you work a wreck today, it's got to be submitted by 4 o'clock the following day, and then it's got to be reviewed. And God got busy, and then he was on vacation last week. And I just called him. I said, I have no excuse. Here's what happened. And then he's the same one caught that fatal, or them 3 people in that car the night before his vacation. So you just got to be willing to take responsibility. Why should I get on and try to make an excuse? I have no excuse. It should have been turned in. It wasn't. I can't do it because he's got the information. He won't be back till Sunday. Your accident report will be ready Monday. That's just a very minor thing, but that's the way I try to be with any questions anybody asks.
Well, I've not seen you've not avoided a question that we've asked, even when I thought that the Mickey Steins would be like Paulus and a sheriff's for. But you're like, no, Paul. Listen, I feel like there's a lot of baby corruption, and I'm interested in seeing how deep that goes. That was more than I thought you would say. That's more than I thought you would say.
I don't think in the numerous times you've been here, you've avoided one question.
No, I try to be as open and honest as you can be. I mean, I don't, I had a bunch really try to make me, they attacked me and my family during the election, and it gets ugly, And I saw something the other day and it fit. I said, I get talked about, not confronted. Right. I put my phone number out there. It's in every newspaper ad I done. It's on my business cards. Anybody that wants it. And you would think I just get bombarded with calls, especially if you have questions, call me. Nobody ever calls me, you know.
Right.
So, and I saw that the other day. It's like I get talked about, not confronted, and it's like most people, and what I've noticed is those same people that attack me so heavily and talk. There's one particular person. They said, "What's your history with him? Why does he hate you?" Stuff. Never met the man. And they like, "How have you? Way he trashes. Never met the man." So it's just
Well, so people get attached to party lines and candidates, and you know, if you're not this guy, then I don't like you.
yeah.
You know,
Somebody get on there and trash you so bad, but you've never even met them. I mean, it's just like so.
I don't get that.
No, it's just like you know, and that's all. I've got thick skin, but you hate it more for your family than you do for yourself, to be honest with you. And it makes you it makes good people not want to seek offices because
Right.
you know. So
see, I've always been that same person where I'm open to discussion. If you got an issue, please call me. Please call me. Let's talk about it. If I've done something that I shouldn't have, I'll tell you. Hey, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done this.
yeah.
Yeah, I've made all kinds of next day phone calls. I'm like, listen, I've had to sit time to think about that. I probably should have done that different, or you know, I apologize for that, or whatever. I'm that guy.
You know, we all make a decision.
You laugh because you received a phone call or two.
I laugh because you have some drunk nights too, and then you call the next day. You're like, "Did I call you last night?"
There's some things we ain't sharing, Jericho.
As a matter of fact, you did.
Well, this is like two of my best friends in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I was calling anybody, these would be 2 of 3 or 4 people I would call.
So you saying that, I just thought of that and it tickled me. I was like, it's the only time you make next day phone calls.
Well, when you get a chance, ask David Rao about some of the late night phone calls he got from some certain drunk, and some of the things that guy admitted to him when he caught him drunk. It's so funny, stuff I can't go into, but you just have to ask David Rao about it.
Well, I hope Dave's watching. I hope that we can help Kenny out with that skit that he's wanting to do. But instead of we already know the aliens and all that other stuff. One of the big Roger, you were actually one of those 3 or 4 people I was talking about. I just got a text. You were actually one of those 3 or 4 people I was talking about that I call. But one of the things that really jumped off last time was when you were talking about a cold case that you guys had for everyone, and everybody's deceased, and you know there wasn't nothing to go on, and a lot of people had questions about that, and they were like, so the way that I understood you explaining it is that at that time police officers kept their own records, like they didn't have to turn everything into the, I guess, where you keep the evidence room or whatever.
Yeah, we have case files for our cases, and apparently back in the day,
no, again,
it's all right to keep a copy.
Let me say this. This happened while Bill was not sheriff. Okay. Yeah. This isn't anything that he could have had anything to do with at all. This is a problem that him and the department are working on fixing and everything else. But this is how it was ran a long time ago.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
And yeah, I mean, they're just you know, I'm very fortunate that I had supervision experience with the state police. I was over casework and I had to review cases, so I had real good understanding of how it was supposed to be done. Tony Dingus, my chief deputy, he had also served in that role in his career. So we come in knowing more than most people would know about how it's supposed to be done. And so I ain't saying the state police is perfect in the way they do their records or anything, but that was the history we brought in with us.
Right.
And so they, that's what we knew. So some of these guys, they've never been in supervision. They get elected sheriff of, you know, they've only been in a small department. And, I don't know. It's just, there should always be a main case file, and the case officer should have copies for himself. But everything, there should be a master file, like everything should be in that. anything officially released should come out of that, not the officer's file. Everything, you know, it comes out of that. So, I think, and I think I'm right. I ain't sure, like certain cases like that, they have to be held for 50 years. I don't know. We haven't found paperwork on some of those. We got evidence, but no casework.
Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy.
And I think that's something that was left off that clip, is that there are evidence for these things in the lockers or whatever, but there's no charges, there's no cases, there's nothing but evidence, right? That's what I think people misunderstood too, is that
There's no paperwork showing that case.
there's no paperwork to do any of the details. We're like, look, this is a gun from this thing, and that's all.
Yeah,
That's all.
yeah. So
Gun collected at this address on this time on this date. You could make any story you wanted up to. If you didn't, if you don't have anything to read, how can you put anything together?
It seems like you'd said though that a lot of the witnesses were already passed away too, right?
In that particular
So in a case like that where you have evidence but you don't have no paperwork or anything to clarify why you have that gun,
it becomes a cold case, my man.
well, why do you keep that gun?
Well, I'm not saying there was a gun.
I know. I just went with it.
yeah, but
I just went with that.
No, I got you. I was just clarifying.
Like if you have
Evidence.
but you have nothing to clarify that evidence.
well, we
why
know the
keep it?
year. Well, you know the year of the case by the case number, because the year is usually incorporated in that. And but if the case ever turns up, you know, you'll still have it. If not, 50 years after that date, whoever sheriff can legally get rid of that stuff.
So that's just wild, though, right?
It is. It is wild.
Well, but I mean, again, it's and this isn't. Whitley County is moving in a different direction.
It is.
I mean, it's not the same department as it was 6 years ago. 6 years ago, it wasn't the same department it was 6 years before that.
Right.
In 6 years, do you understand what I mean? It's moving in a direction.
It's moving in a better direction.
In my opinion, yes.
And you know, there's still so far to go.
Right.
I mean, there's just like, there's so much you'd like to do. You ain't got the money to do. You ain't got the manpower to do. We say this all the time. We feel so reactive instead of proactive. You want to be a proactive police department. You want to be out there hitting this and doing that. But when your guys are busy running call to call to call, it's hard to be proactive.
Yeah.
We're the main 911. I mean,
But
provider.
if you
know,
don't figure out how to be proactive,
right.
if you're just all the time reactive, you're not going to get nothing done.
And then when you do get a break, you're trying to write up your collisions and your paperwork from the other. So it's very frustrating on my end. There's so many things we want to do. You just find it so hard to do. And hopefully, and it seems like you get your manpower where you want it, and then somebody will go somewhere else. And you're like, man, we just got where we needed to be. So we're slowly getting there. And I'm proud of where we are, but I still am far from where I want to be.
We'll see, and that's why we hope they're 3-term.
Yeah.
Bill Elliott.
Yeah. And you know,
it's too early to be talking about all that stuff. But
and I can't fault I've said this many times. I can't fault our physical court because, I mean, there's only so much money and they have so many things they got to do. So I can't fault none of them. They help us where they can and when they can, and I appreciate what they do to help us, you know.
All right. With that said, guys, Bill will be back next month, third Monday, unless it's a holiday or something like that. Then we won't expect him to come. I'm not real sure what that third Monday is next month, and what next month is September. So there's not even any important holidays in
there's
September.
Nothing important next month.
So not that was it Arbor Day or
Memorial Day's first weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're
okay.
good.
Okay. Well,
Hey, real quick, I'll be set up at Old Fashioned Days. We the Sheriff Association raffles a side by side off every year, and we always have a big showing in Whitley County. We'll set it up down there. You can come buy your chance. The money, it goes to great cause. The Sheriff's Boys and Girls Ranch. Every dime raised goes straight to there. The side by side's donated. It's a different dealership donating this year, so I don't want to give the wrong information, so I'm not 100% sure. But
And when is Old Fashioned Days?
it's the 11th, 12th, and 13th of
September.
September, or yeah, I think it's a Thursday.
How much is the tickets?
$10.
$10.
Yeah.
You guys get a nice side by side or get a chance to win a nice side by side. Help the sheriff's ranch. That's where the money gets donated to.
Right now, you can buy tickets at our office. It's not set up there. Of course, you have to schedule to get it, but if anybody wants them right now, they can get them in our office. Our office staff has them, but I'll actually have the side by side and a booth set up at Old Fashioned Days. We'll be selling those chances, and we'll give it away usually that week, because usually the Sheriff's Association is the week after.
Okay.
But this year the Sheriff's Association is not till December, so it's given away on Thursday night. They do the drawing on Thursday night of our banquet at the Sheriff's Association.
So you get your tickets at the Old Fashioned Days, and then it will be in December before you get before they do the drawing.
Yeah, what's normally good is I have it here, and then on Saturday night I'll take it to the racetrack if they've got races up here and drive it around and sell tickets up there. Whitley County, since I've been sheriff, except last year we didn't get the side by side and tickets off. Sales were down, so they're making sure I get the side by side this year.
Sweet enough.
And so it goes for a good cause. That's why I put forth a big effort to help them sell tickets. I showed up the first year as sheriff and had right at $7,000, and they couldn't believe it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that we sold here in Whitley County. One of these days, somebody from here is going to win it, and I'll really be excited then.
I would be too.
But $10, the money, everybody can afford $10, and it goes to a great cause.
All right, so guys, make sure to check out Bill there. Obviously, we won't have him back until after that because it's the third Monday. You can't fit 3 Mondays in 11 days. I know that
No.
for sure. So we'll be able to ask him more about that when we bring him back. Bill, it's always a pleasure having you
Thank y'all
on.
for having me.
Guys, I guess we're going to wrap it up. No show on Friday. We'll be back Monday.
So everybody, peace out. We love yous. Have a good week.